welcome to another video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using Score Merchant as always, showcasing a new buff perk named Coup. What this perk does, whenever a German is completed, you gain 2 tokens. When you have a token, you can lunge, and your lunge, if you hold down the button long enough, it will be increased by 80%, but you only can have 5 tokens at once. We have Score Trick Pain Resonance, so we can slow down the game by hooking survivors on score tricks and making the German the most progress automatically lose progress by 25%. Dragon's Grip, whenever we kick a generator, that generator will be highlighted in yellow. If a survivor screams, a survivor touches that generator, it will scream and automatically become exposed for 30 seconds. Oh no, for 6 seconds. And then we have Rancor. Really interesting perk where basically every time a generator is completed, we see the aura of every survivor, but we can see the location of every survivor, but the obsession can see us, and also the obsession can be more rate once the game's over. Lastly, we have randomized strobes to make survivors move 5% slower in chases, and brown noise generator to make survivors oblivious. I have 2 games for y'all today, and in this game we're going to be using a different build actually. We're playing on Shattered Square, Hate This Map. In this game, I decided to change the build a little bit because even though I just showcased the build I saw, I got rid of brown noise generator because I just see in the second game, brown noise generator was helping me, but then I realized, and I built like this, where I'm using Coup perks that are really good at chasing survivors and locating them. I want to be able to chase survivors better. So I don't really need brown noise generator, which is surprising because I always use brown noise generator. Also, I changed Dragon's Grip to Desolation, which you'll see that, but I'm gonna showcase both games. I know it's a weird order how I did this, but I wanted to showcase the game where I actually got the coup de grace value first, and then I want to showcase the game where I didn't get as much coup de grace value second. The reason I wanted to do that is because the whole point of this video is to showcase the perk, and I didn't want y'all to see a game where I end up not really getting that much value out of the perk. So I want to show y'all the game where I get more value. A generator gets completed immediately, which is fine because this map is so big, I'm not even gonna try and go after all the gens. Like, this is not a map where I'll do that, and I hate the map. This map is extremely dumb. I think this is the worst, one of the worst maps ever. Now, first thing, this map is just super big, and I hate big maps when I'm playing killer, especially Score Merchant. Then, this map has a key issue where basically there's just every pallet is safe and every window's good. And then the last thing is, even if you somehow do get a really good layout, I missed right there kind of bad. Also, I'm mad because I didn't want to use my coup de grace, and then I end up using my coup de grace anyway. That's the only problem I have with this perk, is the fact that I will sometimes use it when I don't want to use it. So I've been trying to get close to survivors on purpose so I don't accidentally use a coup de grace stack. But as you see right there, we get that down because of coup de grace. We were able to lunge and hit her before she can drop that pallet. And because we lunged, she wasn't fast enough to be able to even notice that, wait, we're going to hit her before she can drop the pallet. So that's why I use coup de grace. I think coup de grace actually is a really good perk on Score Merchant. I just feel like I don't know what perk to get rid of in order to use it. Like, I do think it's a good perk though. This girl is going to be into the main building. I do have a really strong what's it called, drone location in the main building. If the main building has the basement, you can put the drone in the basement and automatically basically protect the entire building. I know this girl's gonna be on the pallet, so I'm gonna try and hit her, but luckily for me, she had, what's it called, luckily for me, Desolation activated, so it brought the pallet even though it didn't really matter. But I'm gonna hit her before she can go to the next pallet. I hit his map, by the way. But yes, that's the reason why I changed the build a little bit, even though I know in the beginning I said I was gonna use specifically certain perks, but I changed it. Desolation is a really good perk on Score Merchant in general. This build right now is used preferably more to chase survivors, while the other build that you'll be seeing in the next video was mainly used to not catch survivors off guard, but to basically chase them. But I wasn't going for a full chase build because I thought if I went for a full chase build, then I would end up, what's it called, losing the game because I would focus on chasing survivors and not doing gens. But this time I decided to do the opposite. I was like, you know what, I don't care about gens, I'm just gonna chase survivors. And then right when I'm about to hit the first survivor, my generator gets done. So of course I use my coup de grace stack. Right here this girl does a 360, but I don't swing because I don't want to lose my coup de grace stack. And that's the reason why, like, I'm trying my hardest to not use coup de grace if I can, but sometimes it's impossible. Then like I said before, this map has insanely strong loops. Like, there's this really strong loop Well, it's a TL wall. Not really strong about that, but it is a good loop in general. But because of the stuff that spawned on the side of the TNL wall, there's not much I can do about it. So this survivor, she jumps to the wall, the wall. But luckily for me, I was able to catch her, because even though I already downed her and she just got on the hook, I didn't really care. I was like, yeah, I'm killing you. Because at this point, I'm on this really big map, and now you're dead on hook, and they are completing every single gen. And the only problem with this build is, even though like I have Rancor, but it's funny weird. Like Rancor is not really that good of a perk, but it's funny. I want to show you the strategy. Put the drone in the basement, and now there's no way they can do that generator unless they go in the basement and get rid of that drone. So basically, one of the 4 generators is unusable, and I'm not gonna go towards that generator across the entire map, because unless I know a survivor's there. But because of that reason, I know now that I'll be able to let's protect that gen. I know there's someone over here. I don't really want to go over here. Then I look and there's a wall right here. Like, I hate this map. This map is so dumb. And then to make this map worse, when they first came out, the walls weren't even that tall. But then they changed it for some reason, made the walls even higher. So killers like Huntress and the Trickster can't even shoot over them. So it's just even worse. Like, this map is so bad. I hate this map. But whatever. I knew he was gonna drop the pallet and she's gonna go double back, so because of that reason, I was able to prevent myself from getting stunned. We're gonna break this pallet because we have because in this build, we use, Normally we were gonna use randomized strobes to slow survivors down, but this time I used randomized strobes, and I used, what's that perk called? Geographical readout, so I can move faster, because the whole point of this build is to chase survivors. Might as well chase them and move faster. Right there, that's why I use Desolation, and that's why I'm showcasing. Like, right there is why I'm showcasing this video. This game first, so you can see the build work. Desolation is a really good perk on Stormer, like I said before. You just drop pallets and all you have to do is basically let a pallet stay on the ground, and then you win. Luckily for me, the generator they did was the generator that was so far away where I wasn't gonna try and defend it anyway. And if you notice, this is why I hate this map. It has been, let's see, 4 minutes, 5, and they have done 2 gens. Already. Not 2. They've done 4 gens already. That's just how strong this map is. Like, basically, there's not really any way a killer can reliably defend every gen on this map. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's really, really hard. But luckily for me, my coup de grace stack, I used it in order to hit her. Now, I could have used another coup de grace stack right here, but I chose not to because I realized that if I do it, I might miss. But luckily, if you aim it correctly, you do hit them. She's probably like, what the world was that nonsense? I could have used it when she first went around the rock, but I was afraid I would miss. That's why I like coup de grace so hard to use sometimes. Like, you need to make sure you can use it and actually get value out of it. But when it works, it works. And that's why I think it's really good on Skull Merchant, because you don't want them to do gens, and the whole point of Skull Merchant is to stop them from doing gens. But if I can get coup de grace stacks, then I can basically make them doing gens make me stronger. This girl's gonna drop down. I'm not gonna swing because I'm not gonna lunge. If I lunge, I'll use a coup de grace stack, so I'm not gonna do that. But now she's in a really bad spot. This time I lunge, and I kind of didn't want to, but I knew that if I didn't lunge right there, I would not have hit her because of the way windows work. So I lunge. This girl trying to flashlight me. I'm like, okay. Then this girl's stupid, and I don't know why she had a flashlight me and was in my drone radius. That was dumb. So she's in my drone radius. Now you have 2 people who are dead on hook, and who are dead, not even dead on hook, just dead. And then this girl exposed herself, and now she's dead, and she's about to get hooked. So this game went from really, really bad to honestly amazing in the last 3 seconds. So that's why I said it's really good. The only problem is now that the Obsession is dead, Rancor literally does absolutely nothing. But it doesn't really matter if Rancor does nothing because I achieved my goal. I got coup de grace value, and also I down every survivor. This girl is going to vault this pallet. Sadly, I didn't have Desolation out of it. I never hit her. And I wasn't going to lunge, because if I lunge, I'm going to waste the coup de grace stack, and I kind of want to use the coup de grace stack to down her. Now the problem is, because she's in this direction, there's a high chance she'll get hit by me and run towards the hook and then save the girl. So right there I hit her, but I purposely didn't use a coup de grace stack. I see her running back towards the hook, but luckily for me, the girl's out on the hook, so I don't have to worry about that. Now we can waste our coup de grace stack if we want to, and we can kill someone. But the only problem is, she's in the shack, and the shack has a pallet still, and there's no way she's not going to drop that. Now, I could have went around and just waited for her to drop the pallet. wait for her to drop the pallet, and then what's it called? Make her vault the pallet, and Desolation would have broke it. But I chose not to do that. But it's kind of fine, because as long as I have this spawn right in front of her, I'm good. And as long as I can get a Coup de Grace hit on her, we're good. Now, like usual, this map has these weird little, I don't know what these things are. There's weird things that are on the side that make it really hard to loop. But luckily, Coup de Grace, I miss. Because I'm trash. Like usual. That's why I'm bad. Like, even though I have Coup de Grace, doesn't mean I'm going to land the hit, sadly. Then I lose the girl, but luckily for me, the hatch pawn right here, and she never heard it. So now all I have to do is go and put drone at the gate. This game, by the way, was really fast-paced. And normally my Showmurder games are not that fast-paced, but this one was so fast-paced because at the beginning, we just literally got destroyed because this map is so big, there's not much you can do about it. And that's why I kind of hate big maps. One thing about map 2 I kind of hate is when it came out. So this map is the Knight's map, by the way, in case you don't know. But when this map came out, it looked amazing, and it looks amazing. It feels great too. It just sucks. Because basically, every single thing that makes a Dead by Daylight map bad is what this map is, and I don't know why the devs made this map knowing that this is what, like, this is not a good idea. This girl's like, I give up. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but you must die. There's no other explanation. I got sent to this map, so I'm gonna have to kill you. There's no other way to do it. But I don't really like this map because basically it kind of felt like Dead by Daylight behavior that said, I don't care about the survivors and killers. Like, this map is gonna be as big as possible, and we don't care. And I kind of hate that because, yeah, it looks amazing, but look at this. I can't even see the other side of the map because the map is so big, and it still has to load in. Like, it's just that big. Like, it's annoying. And I find that really, really bad design. Like, knowing a map is humongous, and like half the gens are not gonna be completed. And then when I 3-gen, because all I can do now is basically do a 3-gen. I didn't do a 3-gen in this game, but my point is, if I have to 3-gen, that's when I get hit with the, oh my gosh, chess merchant 3-genning, and I'm over here like, well, I'm sorry, but the map I got was awful, so that's all I could do. But anyway, that was the first game where we used Coup de Grace and got actual good Coup de Grace value. And of course, I'm going to show y'all the next game right now, but this next game will be the build we originally showcased at the beginning of the video, where we're going to use Dragon's Grip. So let's see how good we do in this game. So, of course, we go from one really bad map to another bad map, because today is the unlucky video where I get all bad maps. And I'm fighting against a group of Nias, who I'm pretty sure are all in the Star Friends, because there's no other explanation. But anyway, we're playing on Mother's Dwelling. You know how much I hate this map. If you don't know, let me retell you. I hate this map. And this map is so big. It's literally the same thing as Shadow Square, if not bigger. I don't know which one's bigger, but this map is awful. And then what makes me hate this map more is the fact that, like, it feels like triple the clutter that Shadow Square has. Shadow Square is a big map, but it's like not really that cluttered besides all the pallet loops. But this map is cluttered in general because it's a whole forest, and then it's a big map, so it just like sucks. But it doesn't really matter. We're gonna have to try our win. So hopefully we can get some really good value out of our perks and get some good value out of Coup de Grace. So like I said, this is the original build where we use Dragon's Grip instead of Desolation. Also, we have Brown Nose Generator to make them all oblivious, because that's the hope. We want to make sure we can stop gens. This girl's weird, and she decides to do this weird little circle thing. I don't know what she's doing, but like either way, it's not gonna really matter, because even if you what's it called? Even if you do that thing, I'm just gonna hit you. So I'm gonna sit right here and become exposed and oblivious. I'm gonna hit her. She's also hindered, and she walked back into the journalities a second time, so she's double hindered. But the only problem is there's a pallet right here. So I'm gonna swing and pretend like I actually want to hit her, but in reality I miss. Now I have to go do these annoying forest loops, and there's no way I'm gonna hit her unless I get a Coup de Grace stack now. But there's no way I'm gonna get a Coup de Grace stack. And then, of course, at the last second, I get one. I'm like, yes, can I please hit this girl? But I look and I realize there's not really any way to hit her because of how this tile is. I keep getting stuck on these trees, and I'm bad. So she'll be exposed, but she's going about the window of the pallet, and now she's going towards the main building, and I'm like, I should have not chased you. I should have just done better. But it doesn't really matter. Now she's gonna go through the window probably if she can, which she doesn't. But I'm gonna re-edit the drone, make her hindered again, slow her down a little bit. And because she didn't drop that pallet, I am gonna be able to hit her as long as she can't get to this pallet. But sadly, she didn't do the pallet, but she's not going to drop it because she's gonna get scared. And also, I had the ability to hit her. This person is bad and they failed to save. That's how I know they're on that group, because honestly, why would you be there at that random time? You had a flashlight and you're trying to save. There's no way. So because of that reason, as you can tell, I'm in a Cyber Friends game, and I'm gonna have to deal with that nonsense. Luckily for me, there's someone over there who's oblivious and exposed. The only problem is I'm not gonna be able to get over there fast enough to be able to kill them before they can like not be oblivious anymore. As long as I can get to them before they're exposed, timer goes away, then we're good. But most likely, I'm not gonna be able to get there fast enough, sadly. But I'm gonna try my best. This person right here, I know it's not the exposed person because I see blood on the ground. And then I get lost, and I saw the scratch bar go to the right, but then I look at the last second, it definitely goes to the left, so I'm like, okay. Sadly, Dragon's Grip does run out at the last second, but luckily, the person who is who is exposed is the one that picks up the claw trap. So now I'm going to down her, and I don't even use the coup de grace stat. By the way, if you're a survivor, do not pick up a claw trap. Do not disable a drone if you're exposed, because the killer can track where you are, and that's not really a good idea. Now we hook 2 people on Scourge hooks so we can activate our pain resonance. So far it didn't look that bad for us, but the problem is, again, this map is humongous. No matter what progress I do, if I can't go across the entire map in a flash, like Hillbilly, Nurse, or Blight, then there's a high chance that even though I am, I got 2 downs, I have 3 hooks actually. I have 3 hooks. There's still a chance that I will end up losing because of how big the map is. But luckily we have coup de grace, so we can use coup de grace to our advantage. But I'm not going to use it yet. I'm going to wait until I actually need it. That's the whole point of the perk. I'm not going to use it until necessary. That's why it's called coup de grace in the first place. So you're going to vault this window. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to vault it, but I'm going to go around twice. But sadly, she's just going to keep running around this loop, and there's not really much I can do about it besides go and hope she goes towards the pallet and I can mind game on the pallet. Sadly, I cannot because she's just going to drop it immediately. I'm going to try and hit her before she can go to the window. And that's when I use coup de grace. I don't even think I needed coup de grace, honestly, to hit her right there, but I chose to do it. I am praying no one had a flashlight save, and luckily no one had a flashlight save. Now I'm going to go back towards the Scourge hook, hook them on Scourge hooks every single time. But then sadly, a generator is completed before I can even hook her. And I already hooked this person on Scourge hook before, so it's not going to activate anyway. So Rancor let me see where everyone was, but the problem is, like usual, I end up not being able to get much value out of Rancor. I like how Rancor can show you where everyone is when a generator completed. It's kind of good, but at the same time, it's kind of bad too because basically, I need to be able to It's like Dark Sense in a way. That's what the first called. Sadly, I'm unable to figure out exactly where the survivors are because of the fact that I need to be able to still down them. This girl goes down on the ground, and she is just like, I'm gonna use that perk to heal myself automatically, and there's no one to find her. Then the girl confuses me. She runs towards me, and she's oblivious. She thought I was gone, but I was definitely still there. But this map is so big, it's so hard to find people. But I'm gonna try my best anyway, and we're gonna have to win. She's gonna pre-drop the pallet because she knows that she doesn't drop the pallet, she's gonna die. But luckily, coup de grace let me get this hit. I just used coup de grace right there because honestly, I had 5 stats, and I was like, well, I need to use one of them, so I used 1. So we need to make sure we use our coup de grace stacks now because you cannot have more than 5 stacks. Now, sadly, like I said last time in my last game, the obsession dies, and because the obsession dies, I don't get any more value out of Rancor. I can see where everyone is once they complete a gen, but other than that, I don't get any value. So I'm gonna try to mind game this pallet. This is what I'm talking about when I say I got better at chase, but I do dumb things like this. There is no way I can hit this girl even with coup de grace. Well, I can hit her with coup de grace, but I have to be really, really good. Now, luckily for me, she just stopped going in that loop. And she's like, this is boring. I'm not going to loop this. I'm like, thank you. And as a result, we're able to hit her. But we don't even use a coup de grace stack. But now we have 5 coup de grace stacks, so I know I'm going to have to use them eventually. So I'm going to try and use it right now. And she gets stuck, and I die. And she dies, luckily. Now, one problem I will still say, though, is we didn't really do that bad, honestly, in this game. And we do have, I think, one more person dead on hook if we just hook them one more time. But it's the fact that, like I said, like in the last game, notice how fast the gens got done. It wasn't the fact that we weren't really completing gens. We weren't really, patrolling gens or anything like that. No, it's really just the fact that it's really hard as a score merchant player to protect gens from far away when you have this gigantic map like this. That is why score merchant, well, not really, I'm not gonna say score merchant players, but that's why a lot of players will 3-gen, because they found it easier to 3-gen than to try and protect generators that are across the entire map. And honestly, it is way easier to 3-gen than it is to do, like I just said, protect gens from across the map. Now, luckily for me, there's nowhere the survivor can go, and because of Coup de Grace, I'm gonna get a free hit basically. I know she's gonna drop this pallet now because honestly, there's nothing else she can do. I'm gonna break it, and then I realize now this is a really bad spot I'm in, because if I chase this girl, there's a high chance those survivors will do gens while I'm chasing her. But at the same time, I'm kind of in a position where all I can really do is chase her. I'm gonna put a drone up here so I can get her a little bit slowed. That's the whole point of this build. We slow them by 5% so we can coup de grace their butts. We super lunge and we super slow them down, which is really funny. But now I'm gonna try to hook this girl on a scorch hook. And while I'm doing that, I know they're gonna try and do the gens, sadly, but oh well, I have to hook someone. This girl on her first hook, and then Scorch Hook Pain Resonance no longer has any stack, sadly. But I'm gonna go towards these gens. I look on the radar and I realize this one right here. So I'm gonna try and get some Dragon's Grip value. Hopefully, if I can kick this gen, she will try and go back on it and Dragon's Grip activate. But instead, I get blinded. The sun in my eyes. Ugh. But I'm gonna re-kick it anyway, because I don't care. And I'm going to proceed. Dragon's Grip value, hopefully, if we can get someone to land on that. But sadly, no one does touch it until like I go back over here. So then I realize that someone is in my drone radius. I'm like, where you at? So someone gives me my drone. They give her the drone near the middle building. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to put the drone back up there. And they're going to heal underneath the hook, so I don't really have to worry about those two survivors. I was going to chase that girl, but I want to put a drone up here first. So now I'm going to chase her. She has a cloud trap on her, so I know that she can vault a pallet. And so if she vaults a pallet, it'll break. Luckily for me, she's looking at me for some reason and it gets stuck. I'm trying to use Coup de Grace right here, but she pre-wraps the pallet, so I suck. And you hate to see it. I'm gonna break it, but then I realize I can just not do that. Because if I break it, she will vault it. So right there trying to swing. I should have held down my swing and got a use Coup de Grace, but I chose not to. I'm gonna grab her core soul and we're gonna hook her on a hook. The problem is there's no hooks in here for some weird reason. I don't know why there's no hooks near the edge of the map over there, but whatever. So I'm gonna hook her right here instead. And she they don't hook next time I hook her. So this is the person right here, so I'm like, of course. So I'm gonna kick this gen after I put a drone on there. But I realized it might be more important to actually chase the survivor, gets more pressure. Because I realized that of all the gens, that gen is the one being worked on. They just rescued, so I know there's no one doing gens right now. She's going to definitely drop this pallet and do this loop. So I'm going to try and chase her. Luckily for me, she does not go towards the pallet. But I didn't want to use the Coup de Grace stack, and I'm pretty sure I did actually. And then I used it right there, and I missed because she's too far away. And maybe it should buff Coup de Grace to make it 100% lunge instead of 80%, Nah, I'm joking. It was fine. I just sucked, and I don't use Coup de Grace that often, but I think I might use it in my builds now because honestly, it's pretty good when you get it to work. So I'm gonna kick this gen again. Hopefully, get some value out of my Dragon's Grip. I've got no value. I used Dragon's Grip, by the way, in a video before this when I was using Trail Torment. That's the reason why I use it in this build, because I realized if I use Dragon's Grip, I can Dragon's Grip people and make them exposed, and then I can use my lunge from Coup de Grace, and Coup de Grace will automatically, make them move slower. If they're exposed, Coup de Grace will make me hit them, and I get a far away lunge that will hit survivors. That's the whole point of the build. But instead what ends up happening is I get no value out of Dragon's Grip, because survivors don't touch generators when I'm playing Score Merchant. Kick this pallet because I want to make sure I get out of the way. Make sure I out of all these drones in case they're on these generators. But right now, I'm kind of in a really bad position. But luckily for me, I get Dragon's Grip values, and I'm in a good position. So I know it has to be the survivor because she's running away. Now, luckily, they're exposed for 6 seconds. And I'm mad because I swam right there and I didn't hit her. And in my opinion, that should have hit, but the game had other plans. So I'm just gonna do this weird little mind game. I'm gonna use a drone to make her hinder, but she probably knows she's gonna be hindered, so she's not gonna go to that loop. I'm gonna chase this girl, even though I know they're probably doing the gens now. I would rather down this girl, and I was correct. They do complete the gen. They complete the gen across the entire map. That was the gen I was so far away where there was not really much I could do about it. But luckily, because of Coup, we are able to get the down, even though she was gonna mind game fall through the window, and I end up being like, no, die, and we end up killing her. Now, even though there's 2 survivors and I'm pretty sure they're gonna get towards the exit gate before I can get them, I do have 1 more coup de grace stack, so maybe we can do something. Break this pallet and put a drone on this, what's it called? On this exit gate, so hopefully I can get some value out of that. But sadly, when I'm thinking I'm in a good position, they open the exit gate, and there's no way the survivor's not gonna leave right now because they realize they won. But it was fine because I got some value out of coup de grace this game too. But I wanted to show y'all the first game where I got more value and we actually won, then show the second game, because the second game was good too, but the first game was much better. So I showed the first game first. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you give me some perk builds in the comments so I can use them. I have a really cool perk build I'm thinking about doing. I don't know why, but it's also a really cool perk I'm thinking about using in my videos now that I might make a video about soon. Kind of thought about it in my head while I was playing. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.